Hello everyone, now I'm going to show you how to make Super Mario Bros. In Lua. Now if I go to main.lua, there's nothing much in main.lua but in the in the source library, the source folder, sorry. So here we just call the gstate machine, which will perform all the main interactions in the game, and a random seed gets generated after every run. And this game I have used the similar textures to Super Mario Bros, but here the gameplay is not similar because I could not make the gameplay as like accurate as in Nintendo, because they have copyrighted the game, and I have somehow managed to get the texture from GitHub itself. So now uh, there is nothing much in here, nothing much in here. So if I go to source, also there we will be using three libraries, which are knife, class, and push, as usual. But here in knife we will be even using chain, which is for performing animations, like animations on the own without player control. So first I will go to dependencies.lua and even constants.lua. First I'll go to constants.lua. There is the constants. The size of each tile in the game will be 16 pixels. So I've set the virtual width and height to 256 and 144, which is the correct resolution for the tile size. And the camera speed is for the speed where the camera will follow the player. And then there is um, the tile for the castles. So there is even a final boss fight. So there will be multiple boss fights, especially I've added in the game too. And then there is dependency.lua, which has all the dependencies. So there's so many to read, which I will just go through this. So here I create four requirements, which is for the libraries, which is chain and timer and the class and push. The sounds, which is from the sounds library. So there is even some mix, where here I have used some mp3 files and m4a files, because I had got the m4a because of editing the audio and the mp3 from the web Google. Then the g textures. So the tiles.png is there, which is for normal overworld. And then there is the G frames, which is which is for generating the quads. So then the util.lua, there is only the same gtext, the generate quads function. There's nothing much. It was the generate quads are same as in the previous videos. But here for the G frames, there'll also be, for tile sets, there'll also be generate tile sets using using these. So we have not included the tile sets and topper sets in the G frames, in the G frames dictionary, in the G frames table, sorry. So yeah, then there is the G fonts. So arcade alternate.ttf is for the starting title, which is Super Mario Bros. And then I will go to ntd.lua, which is being referred by all the characters in the game. So here I create the x and y by the def parameter. And then there is width and height, the texture, the state machine, the direction, which will be by default left, which will be facing towards Mario. And self.opacity is equal to 1. Suppose if the boss is like hit and he loses, and he will be having a flicker. And even Mario, when he loses a power up, he will be having a flicker too. And then there is nothing much here. It will just render the um, texture G-frames if it is if the this is for safety check purpose. And then after this I'll go to the start state. Here in start state, we create the saved if local file system dot get info levels, which is the file system in my roaming data. If self dot saved level to number string dot match content comma bracket percentage d plus bracket the closing quotation. So this will just add an integer value. If not, it'll be just number 1. Then there is for the enter to start the play state. So the place power up state is equal to play state underscore small is just like for Mario by default he will be in this normal power up form. Even after he crosses the level with the power up, he'll again come back to the normal form. Then there is play state, which is 1,000 lines of code, which will kind of take a lot of time, but it's nothing is much different. There's only a duplication of the code for per character in the game. So now in entity, before going to entity, I'll go to this player.lua. So this is for these are all the initializations. By default the lives will be 3. There'll be 3 lives for the player, and the power up state will be always small, even if Mario has a power up. And these are the animations. So like in overworld levels, the Mario will pull down a flag in the castle levels, and then there is self.current animation is equal to self.idle animation. So by default it will be the idle animation. And then there is the particle system, like if Mario has a power up, he can break the bricks on top of him so that the particles will happen. Then there is the different conditions for the levels. So if Mario is in levels greater than 21, he will be swimming in the swimming animation, which is in animation.lua. And then if he's in flag sequence, even if he's not in the level 21 and lesser than 26, so this is the water world. And then there is the animations. If self.current.state machine.current.name is equal to idle, then this is idle animation. So this is for these all animations are for Mario himself. And then I'll update the animation and the particle systems to get updated. And this is for invincibility, like he'll be start flickering for some time. And then there is jump cooldown, so that Mario won't keep spamming the so that players won't spam the spacebar so to fly up in the sky and clear levels easily. And then there is invincible timer is if it's greater than 0, then it'll just do nothing. And then there is the death sound if Mario takes a hit. And if he's in the power state fire, so if he's in fire power up, he will drop down to the big player state big power up. So it's like a easy so this is like to make the gameplay easier, so that if even if we did not get the big power up, we could directly from the fire power up come back to the big power up again. So the power ups have a different height value. It will be 32. and there is a invincible timer for 2 seconds when the player drops up power up level by 1. And if he falls through a chasm and all, he lose a life. So then there is on ground, which will check if he's on ground. And then there is can perform overworld jump. So this is for just if he, so that before like when I added the water level, Mario was just flying in the air, so this was also a check for Mario, so that he won't keep spam jumping. Then, and also this is to check that even if he's in water level, it doesn't depend whether he should spawn on the ground. And then there is the gain power up, and this is the power up reveal. And then there is add score, which will add the score based on the players scores. Also, this is a system wherein the scores will decrease by 2000 and increase Mario's life by 1. Then there is throw fireball, which is for the fire power up, which will insert which will this so this is the table dot insert, which will insert this data type in which we will also see in the playstate.lua and even in levelmaker.lua. Then there is a check left collision and right collision. So yeah, these all are just for collision checking, and this is for pipe collision, and this is for these all are just pipe collision, which will be there in the underground levels and the boss levels and even the underwater levels. Then this is for the power up, and if not power up, then it will just do nothing, which will not break. And then there is object collision, which will check if the object collides, check if the player collides with the object. Then there will be go to a tile.lua. Then so here we'll initialize these. So tile set and topper set are for the tiles. So toppers are like the pillars on the level, like in Mario. And also when the player breaks a jump block, they'll get a power up, and or else not, which is a really rare condition where we will find no power up jumper block. Then this is the render part. So this will just check if the level is in underground level. If it's in underground level, it'll generate the underground, the overworld, the then there is the castle. Then yeah, that's it. So in there's nothing much in the underwater levels. So if I go to tilemap.lua, which will map the tiles, so it'll take only width and height as 2 parameters, and this will update the tiles every second. Then so yeah, there's nothing much in this. And if I go to util.lua and generate quads, so here here we just take the sheet width and sheet height, the sheet counter, as usual, like in previous videos for match 3 and all. Then this is for tile sets, which will take quads, sets x, sets y, size x, size y, which is the which is sets x is for the set of x bricks. So the brick so the ground texture is just like a 32 by 16 pixels. So in the so the six so this exactly dimension reality is just 16 by 16, but we have just extended the image to um, 32 by 16 so that we can accommodate another ground tile inside the texture. Then this is for pipe quads, which is really important for the pipes and the for the underground levels. And this is for gems, like the coins. So the texture was coins, but here we are using gems as the word here, so that you can understand more easily. So spring quads are like the spring jumpers, which will help Mario to jump more higher, which will be only present in the overworld levels and nowhere else. And then if I go to levelmaker.lua, which is also as long as the playstate.lua. So I'll make this quick. We create these initializations, and if we'll check if the level is equal to 10, or if level is equal to 20 for the boss fights. So I'll set the arena width to 30, and it will insert if the so in level 20 there'll be a new object called cannons, which will fire when Donkey Kong is at low HP. And these are jump blocks, which I told you as usual. Then so here there'll be even the timer function and the chains in the so the chains will be in the play state, sorry. And this is for the invisible wall over the cannons. So like I found a bug wherein the player could jump over the cannon and escaping Donkey Kong's hits, so that they can stay there for some time and just come back and fight with him again. So that to avoid that, I have added an invisible wall. Then there is this is for the tile maps and all. Then this is for the underwater level. So here I'll check the condition if it is greater than or equal to 21, or if it is lesser than or equal to 25. So after 25 will be level 26, wherein there'll be a boss fight. And then there will be the exit pipe X and the exit pipe Y, which will be in levels from the underground levels to the underwater levels, even in the boss fights too. Then we will have the final boss fight, which is Bowser's fight. And here we have a tall pillar of gates, which is holding behind Mario's friends in a gate. So after defeating Bowser, the gate breaks down, and then there is table.insert objects comma gate, which will insert these two objects. So this is for the characters who are behind the gate, which is the princess, the Luigi, and the mushroom friend of Mario. I don't know the name, but I guess it's mushroom friend, so I kept the texture name too as mushroom friend. And then we have the drawing the castle brick as the ceiling, and the jumper blocks. So after we break a jumper block in the castle level, it'll turn to the bricks. So here, unlike the other worlds, there we will not have the we will not, after breaking the block, the texture will not change to brick, but instead a topper block, because toppers standing there are also flying platforms, so I do not want the platforms to as toppers, so I use the bricks. Then we have the we create Bowser using the Bowser file in bowser.lua. And if the level number is greater than or equal to underground underscore level underscore start, which is the underground levels. So there is nothing much here, but so it's just the power ups and the repetitions of the code. And this is the pipes. Here we take the width as 32 and 48, which is the actual width and uh, height of the pipes. Then we have um, the mark busy column function, which is a local function in this level maker.generate. And then we have so this will just check if the check for the pipes headroom, so that they weirdly don't generate in above below the pipe or below the block, sorry. And do not generate on half platform, like if they generate on single brick and another single ground is not there. So these are all dedicated for the single blocks. And then we have, yeah, these are the pyramids. Like you might have done these simple programs wherein in Mario there'll be a pyramid which will be rising upwards using the pyramids blocks. And then we have uh, so yeah, here we have even the power up texture, which will be either power up underscore size underscore id, and the power up, or the fire underscore fire dash power up, which is the texture. So these are for the sky platforms in underground levels and the overworld levels. Then we have the second pass, which is just again a repetition. So this will just check for the uh, any if there are no blocks, if the player cannot reach the platforms, so the springs will generate to help the player go up and collect these coins. So then we have, yeah, these will just randomly spawn coins in the air. So here you can adjust the number of coins in this line, where x with minus 25 and